In this last video of my series going deeper into cognitive dissonance, I go into possible actions to counterbalance the negative effects on your mind caused by narcissistic abuse. This clearly is a very tough and painful process, and it's essential to start taking small steps in the right direction. To me, the right direction is having attention for your own energy, self-worth, feelings, and eventually shifting the attention from the narcissist to yourself. This can be done when you're still dealing with a narcissist or when already in a no-contact situation. I hope this video can be helpful to you. First, I would like to show my view underlying my website and YouTube channel. It could be seen as a step-by-step process, but doesn't necessarily have to be. It starts with the attention on the narcissist and their manipulative behavior in order to recognize what's going on, but the aim is to eventually shift your attention to yourself, to work on self-worth and healthy boundaries that follow from that. Clearly, the best way to work on yourself is when you are in a no-contact situation. Going no contact is the only healthy solution when dealing with narcissistic abuse. In this series, however, we learned this decision can be difficult or seem impossible to make due to the mind trying to reduce the discomfort of cognitive dissonance. Now, a victim mostly knows deeper within they should get out of the unhealthy abusive situation, but this puts them in uncertainty and stress as well. Staying or leaving both result in emotional stress, and the decision could be made based on what seems the path of the least resistance, which is staying or not changing the situation. After deciding not to change the situation, the mind will work to justify this decision, as we've explored in earlier videos. A risk thus could be that going no contact is a decision with more uncertainty and seems more stressful than staying in a situation you already know. It requires a lot of courage and strength to make the decision to leave. Mostly, these decisions follow from self-confidence or clarity, but when being abused by a narcissist, this has been affected as well. It's a trap that makes it extremely difficult to break the cycle. You can learn more about the narcissistic abuse cycle in my video going deeper into this. The effect of a narcissist on your mind can still be very present for quite some time after going no contact. It can be a challenge to shift the attention to yourself again, as you could have grown into the dynamic of disconnecting with your own needs and feelings and mostly having attention for the narcissist. Validation and confirmation of the reality of the situation are needed to reduce cognitive dissonance. The aim is to be able to ask yourself the right questions and learn to trust your intuition. If you ask yourself better questions, you will get better answers and actions. So now, I will go into a few actions that could be helpful when trying to counterbalance the effects of cognitive dissonance caused by narcissistic abuse. An important first step is to gain knowledge about narcissism and the possible extent of their behavior. The well-known expression "knowledge is power" is very true when dealing with narcissists. You need to know what's going on and become aware of whether someone is manipulating you. If so, you need to realize this person is showing unhealthy, manipulative and immature behavior. To recognize this, it's important to ask yourself good questions. Examples are: does this person want me to develop myself and become more confident? And do I feel sincere attention and empathy when this person listens to me? In my video going into how to deal with hoovering, I go deeper into some questions that could help to understand if your relationship is healthy or not. When you become more informed and you ask yourself quality questions, You will be able to recognize behavioral patterns and analyze what's going on. This will strengthen your suspicions if you're dealing with a narcissist. You probably intuitively knew something was wrong already, but now it can become more clear what's really happening. In this phase, you probably will start a process of emotional detachment from the narcissist. It's important that the truth about the narcissist needs to be embraced. Getting knowledge about narcissism can help you in accepting you can't change this person. You will not get an apology, explanation, and they will not take any responsibility. You can't change the behavior of another person, and you're also not responsible for it. You can't heal them, only yourself. Now, this brings me to the importance of writing things down and, if possible, go into therapy. The aim is to acknowledge the situation and to support yourself in this process. You can document your findings for yourself and take the time you need in this process of analyzing and possibly accepting that someone is a narcissist. This can be a very painful process. The recovery of narcissistic abuse is a long and painful road. It's psychological abuse, and the impact of cognitive dissonance is severe. It results in confusion and anxiety when you have a view of this person that doesn't match their manipulative behavior. It's hard to understand and accept. Try to get comfortable with the feeling of discomfort. Be honest about the contradictions and about the behavior you see. Be uncomfortable by not using defense mechanisms and see things for what it is. Name the behavior that is not okay. Don't think of reasons or excuses why manipulative behavior would be okay. It's an important part of starting the road of healing and recovering. This acknowledgement is necessary to work on further growth. Now, as mentioned before, the only real solution to stop the abuse is to go no contact. Only this way you can really start recovering and become yourself again. You need to protect your energy and life. If you can't go no contact right away, I would advise watching my video about the Grey Rock method in order to start emotionally detaching from the narcissist. It might help in creating space for yourself. It's important to try to allow the contradictions of what happened. You are allowed to mourn the good things, the relationship you thought you had, the person you thought this person was. It's okay if you still love this person. Give yourself permission to work through this. Now, what can also be of significant help is practicing conscious breathing exercises or meditation. There are all kinds of breathing methods that are great for gathering thoughts and acknowledging your thoughts and feelings. I suggest to find one that suits you. This could also just be a simple exercise of breathing slowly in for 4 seconds and then breathing out 6 seconds for a few minutes. When you consciously take longer breaths out than you breathe in, this will tell your body to get out of the stress system. All sorts of breathing methods or exercises can help you with emotionally detaching from the narcissist as well. A form of mindfulness would be to allow the discomfort of the situation and see things how they are. It will help you with healing and growing. If you think conscious breathing or meditation could be helpful to you, I recommend reading some of my articles, which I will put in the description of this video. The fifth action is to try to consciously surround yourself as much as possible with kind, sincere and compassionate people that love you and respect you. The aim is to create a kind and compassionate environment. In healthy relationships, people will respect your boundaries. If you have such people in your environment, try to spend more time with them. Their energy will help your energy. And the other way around, try to reduce time spent with people that drain your energy. Now, when trying to create a kind and compassionate environment, This also extends to your own mind. Are you kind and compassionate towards yourself? When your own mind is hostile, it's hard to connect with your intuition. It's essential to learn to trust yourself and your intuition and to seek clarity again. It's time to work on yourself and reclaim control over your life and self-worth. In my article about self-worth, I share some tips on how to work on this. It's important trying not to blame yourself. It's not useful. To forgive yourself means giving up hope for a different past. We are now looking for actions you can take and are not interested in what our minds can make up in order to make yourself feel smaller. You can always find a reason to blame yourself if you want to, but at this point we want to find reasons why we should be kind, compassionate, and supportive to ourselves. It's essential to connect with yourself again. Have faith in the healing process. Know this is an important process and it can require a lot of time. Allow yourself this time. You could have been abused for a long period of time, and this clearly has consequences on your thought patterns and emotions. Try to be compassionate to yourself when healing. You will restore your energy and find yourself again. Any small step in the right direction is a great thing. It's worth it, and you are worth it. I'm aware this video is a fast list on something I could probably write a book about. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I sincerely hope it can be helpful. I'm sorry if you experienced narcissistic abuse, and I wish you strength and more kindness in the future. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated on my activities.